Thank you for joining me here this afternoon. The time is now 2:43 p.m. Central, 3:43 p.m. Eastern, and you have a live look at a severe weather outbreak across portions of northern Virginia. Right now, we've got a line of severe thunderstorms producing damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour or higher in between Charlottesville, Virginia, all the way back through areas like Brookneal, Virginia, with 4 severe thunderstorm warning for portion of this line right now, mentioning the threat for damaging winds, large hail, and even a possible spin-up tornado somewhere in the southern part of the line. We have had several rotating supercells today that have gotten relatively close to becoming tornado warned, but none actually have yet. We do have a marginal risk of severe weather today for parts of the mid-Atlantic United States here. If we take a look at the SBC Outlook's tornado risk for today, we can see there's a 2% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of any given point, everywhere from southern New Jersey back down through parts of southeastern Virginia here. I also would not rule out a tornado a little bit further west than that. However, most of the storms are moving out of that region, so it has been condensed down to this little zone of the mid-Atlantic area. So again, right now, 3 severe thunderstorm warnings in effect across parts of our line, everywhere from Charlottesville down towards Brookneal. You can expect some severe limit winds with this likely. Over the next couple of hours, this will be moving by Richmond, Virginia, and Fredericksburg, Virginia. Eventually, this will make its way over to the Delmarva Peninsula, and we also have some thunderstorms well north of this line here that are actually discrete enough to potentially strengthen a little ways and potentially produce some damaging winds and maybe even an isolated tornado. If we take a look at the HRRR model's forecast here for today, we move over to the composite reflectivity. We can see that we are expecting this line to continue to push eastward over the next several hours. By 4 p.m., this will be approaching Washington, D.C. We're also going to have several other lines of severe storms develop, and down here in southern portions of Virginia, we are going to have some discrete supercells that could potentially produce an isolated tornado threat across that region. By 5 p.m., some of those also start to develop over the Delmarva Peninsula. Here, we may also have to look out for a brief tornado or two in that region. By 6, 7, and 8 p.m., a lot more of the same, except for a lot of this at this point will be southern New England problem here, and with some heavy thunderstorms as well, right? We're going to be talking about hail, damaging winds, and maybe an isolated tornado or two somewhere in New Jersey especially. By 9 p.m., this kind of really centers around New York City. Same thing with 10 p.m. By 11 p.m., this has fully moved its way into portions of New England here. By midnight, we're still potentially dealing with some damaging winds and heavy rain across portions of upstate New York back through areas like Connecticut and eastern Long Island, and then that will continue to shift northward here, and by later tonight, we actually could end up seeing some significant snow out of this. We actually have lake effect snow warnings in effect for portions of upstate New York, northwestern Pennsylvania, and northeastern Ohio, mentioning the threat for a lot of snow. We are talking about 2 to 3 feet of snow by the time this system moves its way out of here. So not only is this producing a big-time severe weather outbreak, but also a massive winter storm likely later today. Now, for the most part, it's all rain. We do have some snow closer to the Toronto area, but for the most part, temperatures are just barely high enough to see that be mostly rain rather than snow or any wintry mix. But again, that certainly could change. Again, everywhere from Cleveland back up towards areas like upstate New York, like Watertown, we do have ourselves lake effect snow warnings in effect. So do not be surprised if you do end up seeing some significant snow totals. We mentioned this yesterday too, but Michigan is also seeing some pretty significant snow from this event. No winter weather advisories or anything, because we actually weren't really expecting this to be anything major, and it's not. In fact, the temperature is actually a few degrees higher than we were expecting across a good portion of the of Virginia, so it's really more so a wintry mix rather than just straight up snow. Detroit is actually, for the most part, just seeing some rain, some cold rain. You really have to go to parts of upstate Michigan to see any of that become snow. But anyway, with all that being said, let's go ahead and pull up Stream Chat. If anybody has any questions about their location, please do leave those down below so I can answer them accurately and honestly, because again, we kind of want to get a scope of where our viewers are watching from today, because actually, while this risk isn't massive, it does include over 23 million people here, everywhere from parts of Virginia back up into parts of New Jersey. So let me go ahead and get Stream Chat up here. How's everybody doing today? We are at 3,130 subscribers. Ideally, I would like to gain 20 more subscribers by the end of the day so that we can hit our goal of 3,150 that we have had set for a while. So that would be pretty incredible if we could hit that this stream. But if not, that's alright too. Again, the support recently has been unbelievable, so I've got to thank you guys for that. But if you are interested at all in weather, I would like to recommend this channel for you. So anyway, how's it going, everybody? It's good to see that we've got the usual crowd here back once more. We've got people like Dahani, Sam, Jerry, Vidari. We've got folks out there from all across the country today. GFS shows a winter storm for you 150 hours out. I'm not too certain, though, that won't change and shift a little bit further northward once again. I don't totally buy the idea that Arkansas will be seeing multiple feet of snow and ice like the GFS wants it to, so we'll see what happens. It's definitely not out of the question for you to get a couple inches of snow in South Carolina, but the newest run of the GFS has just been absolutely outlandish, showing multiple feet, not inches, feet of snow for parts of Arkansas and Missouri here. Again, I just don't buy that that's going to happen. It could. I'm not completely saying it's impossible. The threat has shifted further south than we were originally expecting, but overall, it's nothing set in stone yet. So anyway, how's everybody doing today? How many subs have you gained since the start of the year? About 2,500. Are you thinking Annapolis is going to get some severe weather? Yeah, so Annapolis today is included in our marginal risk for severe thunderstorms today. Let's actually just go ahead and look at Annapolis up here. I know it's in Maryland, obviously, but okay. So, yeah, marginal risk of severe weather here today for the Annapolis region. You could see some isolated damaging winds or a tornado threat, quite possibly. Again, we take a look at the little future track run here for you. We can see that we're expecting this big line of storms to hit you later this evening with some big-time damaging winds. That would be around 6 or 7 p.m., where you would see the greatest threat for that, and then just some off and on thunderstorms through about 10 p.m. tonight. Again, whenever the ball drops here up in New England, it's not going to be very nice weather, all right? New York City, luckily, will just barely be out of the woods at that point, but definitely parts of Long Island, Connecticut, and upstate New York can still expect some significant thunderstorms. We are now at 3,131 subscribers. We're only 19 away from our goal today. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button. But yeah, we actually did have some damaging winds, significant damaging winds actually, in upstate West Virginia earlier today. I was kind of watching this. Again, it wasn't quite significant enough for us to go live for, but we did have several reports of trees down, some power lines down, and we actually had a recording of a 63-mile-an-hour wind gust at the Morgantown, West Virginia airport. Threat for Lancaster. All right, let's check that out. If you're talking about Lancaster, Pennsylvania here, you would be just outside of the marginal risk of severe weather, but that doesn't mean we couldn't possibly see some severe weather in your area. That's just where the SBC thinks that threat kind of stops. But again, obviously these thunderstorms don't know the exact lines that the SBC puts out, so I don't think you really have much of a tornado threat, but around 7, 8, 9 p.m. you could expect some heavier thunderstorm activity. That's definitely possible, and then throughout the later nighttime hours, you should be fine. So again, 3 severe thunderstorm warnings right now for portions of northern and central Virginia. Let's go and update that. Whoops. Again, this is not a significant severe weather outbreak or anything, but we have seen some significant damaging winds, again, across parts of Appalachia, mainly parts of West Virginia and Kentucky, as well as parts of southern Virginia here. Again, we have a marginal risk of severe weather. If you stayed up for last night's stream, thank you very much, but you'll know that they did issue the marginal risk for tornadoes, damaging winds, and hail last night, and that has remained in effect until today. Afternoon, Davis, getting ready for Old Man Winter this weekend, yes. Yes, a lot of snow late this weekend. Again, we'll have another forecast discussing that soon. Maybe a video, maybe a stream. Not too sure as of right now. Alrighty. So again, how's everybody doing today? We did just get a new special weather statement here for Palmyra, Louisa, and Mineral, Virginia here for 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts and half-inch hail. So they're likely going to let go of this severe thunderstorm warning here and just leave this as a special weather statement warning storm riding along I-64 there for the time being. So, again, the tornado possible tag has been issued here for our southern severe thunderstorm warning, the one approaching the Farmville, Virginia area. That's just for any embedded areas of rotation that does pop up in our little line here. It's not completely out of the question, but I doubt it will happen with this specific storm. Again, this line is expected to stay intact for the next several hours, though, across portions of northern Virginia and even making its way up towards D.C. eventually. So, again, we'll look out for that. Let me actually go ahead and get this stream pushed out here. Again, thank you all for tuning in today. Support recently has been off the walls. Again, at 6 p.m. Central tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, we will be announcing our 2025 YouTube goals. And today at noon, we also reacted to, did we hit our 2024 YouTube goals? So if you haven't already, make sure to check that video out after the stream. I had some funny reactions to Old Me as well in there, so if you want to check that out, feel free to do so. Alrighty. So sorry, I'll catch up with chat here in just a second once again. Let me get this out here. Make sure everybody knows what's going on. Okay, if you have any friends or family out here in the Mid-Atlantic region, make sure to let them know that there is a potential for some severe weather today. Feel free to send them the stream. Again, we're going to be live for a good chunk of today, covering some damaging winds, tornadoes, and hail. Alrighty. So give me 1 sec. Again, thank you all for joining us here today. What's up, everybody? What's up, Mr. Twister? Give me 1 second. Whoops, I accidentally full screened my YouTube and now I can't get out of it. You've been live for like 20 minutes? Yeah, I would have tuned in, but I just got home here, which is also the reason that I haven't been live since now. Alrighty. Oh, I didn't even realize Mr. Storm was live. Give me 1 sec. Alright, see you, Jerry. Thank you for tuning in. Give me just a second here. Okay, let me make sure I can push this stream out here so everybody knows that we are live. Missed Mr. Storm last night. I fell asleep. Yeah, we were live after midnight. Yeah, the Port Arthur tornado, actually, I don't think it will get upgraded to EF4, but we did see some significant damage indicators. Again, if you're not aware, that is a EF3 with 161 mile per hour winds confirmed so far. Overall, we did have several deaths from that event, unfortunately. I believe that we had 4 tornadic-related fatalities. Let's just go ahead and confirm or deny that really quickly. Yeah, so unfortunately, we did end up having 4 tornadic fatalities, again, on our moderate risk day. I'm visiting my grandparents in Iowa, but my grandma had a gallbladder attack, so my aunt went down to a special hospital 2 hours away, and my grandpa followed then, but the car started. Well, I hope your grandma's doing okay. Sorry about that. You stay? Alright. Oh, the car started smoking. Wow. Yeah, I did see that, actually, Vidari. I saw that we did have the church there with our Bude cell. Again, it's not confirmed yet, but it is likely that they will upgrade that one to EF3 status. I don't think that's far-fetched, Mr. Twister, if you grow like you have been this year. Yeah, I hope your grandma's doing alright. Keep her in my prayers. Again, for everybody across parts of the Ohio Valley today, again, you can just expect some very windy conditions. We got wind advisories up for a good chunk of the Ohio River Valley. Alright, so again, our line of storms here is going to continue to push northeastward. You were at 415 on January 1st. I was at around 600. Again, we managed to grow this channel significantly this year, and that's all thanks to you guys, so thank you very much for all that support recently. Again, 2025, our sub goal will be announced for that year tonight at 6 p.m., so make sure to check that video out. You're in Northern Virginia, half the sky is clear and half of it is cloudy, so that clear part of the sky is actually going to raise the instability in that region of DC there, and could potentially lead to these thunderstorms strengthening a little bit more. What's up, Jesse? How's it going? Thank you for tuning in. I'm doing alrighty. It's in the ER right now. Still a lot of pain, but okay. Dang, that sucks. Alright, so a special weather statement has been issued for Cumberland and Farmville out ahead of this line of storms here. This is for the threat of 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts and half-inch hail, so again, it's likely that they're going to drop these severe thunderstorm warnings here, or at least let them expire. I wonder why there were more significant tornadoes in Texas rather than Louisiana or Mississippi. So, Convective Chronicles actually had an amazing breakdown on why that happened. I think you should check out that video. I thought it was very, very good. We're now down to 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. Let me update that quickly. I want to get this automatic counter idea working. I don't know how to set that up, though. I'm not smart enough to do that through OBS, so... Back in 1982, we had a La Nina was hit with 2 feet of snow, and the city was crippled. Yeah, La Nina patterns tend to do that to parts of the Midwest. Again, this year's will be a bit of a weaker La Nina than we're typically used to, but still, again, I do think that this big-time winter storm that we are expecting next week could be very significant, something that that region of Arkansas and Missouri hasn't seen almost ever. I mean, the new run of the GFS, after both of the major winter storms roll through over the next couple of weeks that we're expecting, the GFS is literally hinting that parts of northwest Arkansas could have upwards of 3 feet of snow in localized areas, which I don't think has ever happened before, at least not in recorded history. Now, some of that is ice and sleet, but still, that's insane. How's Louisville, Kentucky looking today storm-wise? So all the storms have passed you. Again, Louisville, Kentucky was more of an area that we were watching last night. Just some rain showers out there today. Again, very windy. Some gusts of 40 to 45 miles an hour can't be ruled out. But cold rain, windy, just awfully dreary today, but no thunderstorms, luckily. How's it going, Patty? Thank you for tuning in. But yeah. Again, how's everybody doing? Happy New Year's Eve. Again, in 9 hours in Central Time, it will officially be 2025, which is pretty crazy to think about. Again, it looks like 2025's tornado season will be something potentially just as historic or even more historic than 2024's. I would expect a significantly above average tornado season for Dixie Alley, a slightly above average tornado season in the plains, and then the Midwest could kind of be a wild card, I honestly think. I do think that monsoon season could be quite big for the southwestern United States, and I think over the summer, the northern plains probably will have a slightly below average severe weather season compared to usual, but we might honestly do a full-on severe weather season forecast sometime next month, so I'll kind of leave my thoughts out for then. But again, it's looking like spring of 2025 we're going to be in a neutral phase, which usually does promote a much more intense tornado season. We've been in a neutral phase the past couple of years for tornado season, 2023, 2024, and those obviously were both very historic years, especially 2024. So, yeah, Jesse's happy about that above-average monsoon season, and I don't think it's going to be anything crazy, but I do think that there will be an increased amount of moisture, and things will be slightly warmer than normal, so. Yeah, I know, Dahani, and I would make my camera smaller, but then you can't hardly see me at all, so. For right now, we're just rocking with this. I've been trying to work on new layouts, though, for the future. Someone told me they think Tornado Alley was shifting locations. I said more than likely it's just getting broader. Also, hey there. Yeah, so I've heard the Tornado Alley is shifting east theory. I wouldn't say it's shifting east. Again, I would just say it's getting larger towards the east. So, if you're not aware, climate change obviously promotes higher temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico. So that would end up creating more moisture getting pulled out from the Gulf for our severe weather events, leading to longer tracking storms. So while Tornado Alley for the past several years has been focused on Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, I wouldn't be surprised to see that shift a couple states eastward. So areas like Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, parts of Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois, Iowa, Missouri could pick up over the next several years, I think, for sure. Again, I don't think it's shifting eastward. I think it's getting larger in general. What about the Mid-Atlantic or the Northeast severe weather-wise? I mean, honestly, I don't think that things will be too far off of average for this region. Again, obviously, you don't see a whole lot of severe weather in a normal year, but I think we're probably just going to see a few more smaller events, maybe a little bit below average. But yeah. Again, obviously, right now is winter, but it seems like so far we've had a pretty below-average season here for the Mid-Atlantic. This is literally the first severe weather event we've had out here since winter started. And it's really not that significant at all. Yeah. And honestly, I don't think that we're going to see another EF5 tornado again in our lifetime. I get that question a lot. Do I think that we'll see an EF5 in 2025? I don't think so. I do think that if we were going to see one at some point in our lifetimes, then it would probably, 2025 would probably have a good shot at being the year. But I don't think that we will ever see another EF5, at least for the next, 30 years or so. Reason being is it has been 11 years, folks, since we have had an EF5 tornado, almost 12 years now. The EF scale is getting harder and harder to find damage indicators that would promote an EF5 damage rating, and even whenever there is one that seems to be an EF5 damage indicator, a lot of the times the National Weather Service just don't count it. Times like Valonia, Arkansas, Mayfield, Kentucky, a lot of the times they again, seem to really kind of make it a lot harder for EF5 tornadoes to become a thing, if that makes sense. Again, even Greenfield, Iowa, from this year is a pretty good example of that. Nice and sunny at the moment in Claremont, Virginia, 66 degrees. There's some clouds starting to move in. Where is Claremont at? Claremont, Virginia. Actually, never heard of that town. Yeah, so Claremont there, you are probably going to dodge this big line of thunderstorms here that we have right now. It's probably going to go just off to your north, but I wouldn't be surprised to see any little rain showers or storms develop down here to the south and potentially make their way over to you, but nothing too significant. Rolling Fork was sure a contender. I don't know if I would say Rolling Fork was an EF5. I mean, you can make the case for it, but I would probably disagree with that. Overall, I would say that Greenfield or Mayfield would be the ones that I would upgrade well before Rolling Fork. That's not to say Rolling Fork wasn't significant, obviously. It very much was so, but... If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. We are only 19 subscribers away from our goal for 2024. We do this every day for areas all across the country. Over the past week or so, we've been live for well over 20 hours covering tornadoes everywhere they've been. One house EF5 damage should mean it's an EF5 tornado, then why wouldn't they count it? Yeah, again, it's just all comes down to whatever the National Weather Service decides, and there's not a whole lot we can do about it, but, high-end EF4 or, barely an EF5, the significance of a certain tornado does not change based off that. In my opinion, the Greenfield tornado was one of the strongest of all time. But... yeah. I don't know why they didn't pull a tornado emergency card for that one, but that's a discussion for another day. Yeah, if we use the original Fujita scale before it got upgraded to the enhanced Fujita scale, a lot of these modern-day tornadoes would be counted as F5 rather than EF5, because it was a mix of kind of the strongest winds in the tornado and also how much damage it does. Now it's just entirely damage-focused. So, like, the Mayfield tornado would be an F5, likely, if we were still using that scale. Rolling Fork definitely could have been. Greenfield, I mean, just so many recent ones definitely could have been. Valonia, Arkansas. I am 14. I'll be 15 in February. Greenfield had some of the highest wind speeds ever recorded. Yeah. Yeah, tied with El Reno. Being one of the strongest tornadoes of all time. And you can make the case for either one, but we may honestly discuss that in a further video. Again, I appreciate all the support on the more Oklahoma video that we did. You guys really seem to like that one. I didn't know how low it would do because it's already a very well-documented tornado, but you guys voted for it, and it did end up doing very well. Again, I know it's only a 5-minute video, but for a 5-minute video, sometimes I have to put an hour or two in of work, so I appreciate you guys for watching that and showing all your support on it. If you haven't already, make sure to go check it out. I think it was a pretty good video. Also, the start of something big on this channel that we're going to be doing, as I'm sure many of you may have noticed. What do you think about the Sterling City, Texas EF3 from this year? I think if it had damage up there with the 1999 Loyal Valley, not sure if that's the right name. I don't remember exactly. I know that was in May, right? Sterling City. That was that the... I Can't think. Oh, hold on. We'll get back to that in just a second. But we did actually just get a new mesoscale discussion mentioning that there's a 20% chance of a severe thunderstorm watch being issued for portions of the mid-Atlantic region between now and the next couple of hours. A developing cluster of thunderstorms may continue to pose a risk for small hail and perhaps increasing for potential for scattered surface gusts approaching severe limits through 6 and 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 and 6 p.m. Central. Thank you, June. But yeah, probably not going to issue a watch for this since it's mainly just one line of thunderstorms right now. But we'll see if any more supercells do pop up. There's, again, definitely always that chance. I've already given my take on that one, Strix. I don't think that's the case. That study was only including the months of January through November. And then also, there's obviously a wide range of tornadoes that happens every year. We're not certain on every exact number of 2011 or 2024. And also, certain sources say 2011 had well over 2,000 tornadoes, which we have not at all had this year. So I think there's just far too many variables to say that 2024 had more tornadoes than 2011. And even if that were to be true, the intensity of the tornadoes in 2011 on average was so far beyond 2024. I mean, we had a lot of just little brief touchdown, little baby spin-ups this year. 2011, it seemed like it was an EF5 every other month, you know? Alright, severe thunderstorm warning has been removed as we expected here for Alpha. And they're probably going to do the same for the southern one here soon since they have issued a special weather statement out ahead of our line now. What's up, Roman? I think you ought to have a widescreen TV behind you with weather data on it. I've been following you since last week. Great live stream. I appreciate that. That would be quite an expensive project, but and that's also where my mom works back there, so. 2011 and 2013 was just mind-blowing, pun intended, yeah. ...2013 actually wasn't super active overall. Again, it was the intensity of the tornadoes that was the noteworthy thing. 2021 was wild. 2019 was wild. Yes, this year was honestly more wild than a lot of the recent ones, though. Again, I would say that this was the biggest year since 2011. I don't think this was bigger than 2011. But yeah, 2021 was a big year. We had some high risks. Had some EF4s. 2020 was a massive year. Obviously, it was a much more noteworthy hurricane season than tornado season, but still. Yeah, I think 2011 certainly had more tornadoes than 2024. And then again, obviously, the intensity of the tornadoes was much crazier in 2011 as well. But yeah, again, I would not be surprised to see an isolated tornado today somewhere in the mid-Atlantic region of the United States. Probably not going to be embedded with this line in particular, but again, if the HRRR does play out and we do see some discrete cells fire over Delmarva, it's definitely possible. Spam was good about that, but he should have went even crazier. He should have said something like every 100 years, because, again, we have not seen something like April 27th, 2011 in any other day in recorded history. Thank you, Dwayne. Appreciate that. Yeah, there weren't more EF4s in 2020, I believe, than 2024. I don't think there were 6, though. Give me just a sec. Let's check this out. Tornadoes of 2020. There were 6. So, yeah, 2020 did have more than 2024. 2024 had 4. There were several EF3s this year, though, that you could make a case for being EF4s. Honestly, I would go as far to say that April 27th, 2011 was more significant than March 18th, 1925. I know that is a wild take to have, but I don't really see how you could think that otherwise. I'm sure a lot of people do, though. Sorry, I'm trying to look at something here. Okay. Yeah, some are saying that 2025 will be even more intense than 2024 and actually rival 2011. I don't know how much I buy that, but if there was going to be a year in the near future that would do that, it's definitely possible that 2025 is the one. Give me just a sec here. I'm trying to look at something. Okay, if you're just not tuning in, make sure to subscribe. We do this every day for areas all across the country. I cannot speak. I do honestly think the tri-state tornado was unreal, though. Oh, yeah, obviously. I think out of every single tornado in history, tri-state was probably the worst individual tornado. But if we're talking about actual outbreaks, April 27th, 2011 was far more significant, in my opinion. You gotta remember, the one EF5 we had on March 18th, 1925 was tri-state. April 27th, 2011, we had 5. It's really not even close, honestly. Say 2025 is going to very likely be just as intense as 2024. More, not much so. Not yet. It might be too soon. Yeah, I think I am going to do that 2025 tornado season forecast potentially next month. We lost a subscriber. RIP. You disagree with 2025 being crazy? I'm not doubting you. I'm just curious. Why is that? Because again, if we are in a neutral pattern, that would be very significant. Again, that would lead to a well above average Dixie Alley tornado season, a slightly above average tornado season in the plains, and a average tornado season across the Ohio Valley and the Midwest. So, I'm just curious. Yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible that we see a below average season, but I don't think it's very likely. Yes, Ryan Hall's incredible coverage of the 1925 tri-state tornado. What's up, Peachy? "2025 will be historic, mark my words." Yeah. I don't think that's true, Airborne. Tornadoes of 2010. Yeah, there were 13 EF4 tornadoes in 2010, so it's definitely not the case. Thank you to whoever just subscribed. We're now 19 away from our goal for today. So again, we are expecting discrete supercells to potentially pop up somewhere in Delmarva soon to potentially have an increased tornado threat, so we'll see if that happens. But as of right now, things are relatively calm other than our big line of storms here. Mr. Twister and their viewers just joined to say hello. Hello, everybody from Mr. Twister's stream. I've never had that happen. Did you turn on the redirect thing? I've never seen that. I thought he pinned his own message for a second, and I was like, how did you do that? You're not able to. But you think you can gain 2 subs in 9 hours? It's possible. I saw that little thing pop up at the top, and that's where the pinned messages usually go. And I was like, I did not pin your message, and nobody else is able to pin your message, so I was kind of confused. Thank you, Vidari. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you, though. Appreciate that. Again, actually, today's stream has been relatively quiet compared to the past few. We've been averaging about 1,000 viewers per stream recently, which is unbelievable. I never would have thought that was going to be possible, so thank you guys so much for that. This stream, we've still had some decent viewership. We've had around 300 people tune in, which is obviously still very good, but... No, I hope so. I hope so. It certainly does. So again, if you're just not tuning in, we've been live for a little over half an hour now. We're watching some severe storms in parts of Virginia here. See you, Vidari. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Never let them know your next move. But yeah, I think there's a good chance that if this severe thunderstorm warning does be allowed to expire, which again I think it will, because they've issued a special weather statement out ahead, obviously. Thank you, Roman. I appreciate that. But I think if that's the case, then we'll probably have one of our shortest streams in a while. I mean, again, we did over 20 hours of coverage last week. So a 45-minute stream feels unreal to be that short now. But I think we'll probably just come back later for a Delmarva tornadic potential. Will Houston get more tornadoes Sunday? So that's an interesting question. Again, right now, the answer to that would be no. But the GFS has gone back and forth on a potential for our winter storms that potentially produce some severe weather down in the deep south. But as of right now, it's almost looking like it's going to be a little too cool in Houston for any tornadoes to get produced. So I wouldn't expect any, but we certainly can't rule one out at this time. At one point, it was showing snow for Houston from this system, so it has been going all over the place, but... Alright, see you in a second, Dehani. I will say temperatures and dew points are slightly higher over here in eastern Virginia, so we may see this line of storms re-intensify again. Back to severe limits, a little bit more Cape. Wind shear is about the same. SRH, I would imagine, is relatively high. HRRR here, a new run is coming in. If we check this out, again, we're expecting this storm to continue to push northeast. Alright, hold on. We just got a new severe thunderstorm warning that is being issued for the northern part of our line now. This is for Orange and Lake of the Woods, Virginia, for quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. If you're in this area, make sure you move indoors immediately. Our southern severe warning, as we expected, has been canceled. Will do, Mr. Twister. So again, that'll be heading towards Fredericksburg. Again, this part of the line is likely what will hit Washington as well, so we'll see. Do you know if I can use Radar Omega on Windows? You can, but you have to buy a subscription for it to do that on mobile. So. But yeah, if you want to stream, that would be highly worth it. Yeah, maybe one day we'll have a Radar Omega partnership. That would be awesome. Again, we have been using Radar Omega for ever since we started streaming on this channel, so again, big fan of the app. I think it's the most capable radar app that you can have on your phone. And again, it's $9, but I mean that's the kind of technology that they use on, you know, your local news station, so it's very much worth it. But they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on setups like that. You can have it for just $8 on your phone. $8 or $9, I don't remember. Yeah, you don't have to have a super high level of subscription or anything. You can buy the lowest one to get it on a computer. But I have the max subscription. Again, it just gives me some of those extra perks that really throw it over the top for me. Alpha. Which again is like $100 a year, which sounds outrageous, but it's not that bad. Alrighty. You can if you buy a subscription, yes. I mean, you'll have to download it on your PC as well, and then enter in your account information, but you're going back and forth between me and Mr. Storm. Appreciate it. To be honest, I don't really like the way Omega looks. I only use it for models. That's interesting, because I always prefer Omega over Scope for the graphics. Alrighty, so again, severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for portions of southeastern Madison County, Orange County, south central Culpeper County, and northwestern Spotsylvania County in northern, northwestern, and central Virginia here. This is for our line of storms producing damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour and hail up to quarter size. If you're in this area, make sure you're moving indoors immediately. This will continue to ride Highway 20 for a little while here, up towards the southern Washington, D.C. area. Again, I'm sure Jack is excited for this. So again, these little discrete supercells here now look to be a little more focused to the north, actually. So Delmarva or southern New Jersey would probably be the spot to watch for the greatest tornado threat. Again, things are actually expected to explode quite a bit over the next couple of hours, mainly offshore, though. Again, if this kind of thing was happening onshore, I mean, this would be like a 15% wind, or 15% wind and hail risk, at least, so. Anyways. Getting excited for Mr. Storm. He's going to get some thunderstorms from this event, likely. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning as well. I don't know why they issued that. So it does have the tornado possible tag now. I don't know why they didn't just throw that tag on the severe warning that was already out there, but whatever. We keep going up and down from 3129 to 3130. Happy New Year's, yes. In 8.5 hours, it will officially be 2025 here in the Midwest. I haven't seen lightning since September 4th. I probably have seen it a little more recently than that, but honestly, I couldn't tell you the specific time. I know I have, though. Storms are slowly inching towards my area. Yeah. So again, this line will continue to approach Fredericksburg. Fredericksburg will likely be under a severe warning within the next hour or so. I will note we do have this little spot of showers out ahead of our line, and our line will likely take advantage of those and potentially strengthen here. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, I'm aware. Again, they issued a new warning for some reason for that, but anyways. Yeah, we've still got some thunderstorms back here in the parts of central Virginia, but we're not talking a lot about them because they are slowly but surely fizzling out. Again, Appalachia is obviously not the spot where these want to be in right now if they want to strengthen. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. My phone loads Radar Omega faster than my computer, which is insane. Obviously, we're not going to do this, but it would be interesting if we started doing our streams like this. Now, unfortunately, the black lines around the screen would obviously not be ideal, but look at how fast this is compared to on Omega, or on my Mac. Probably because it's not the device streaming, but, like, look at that. And then if we try and do that on my computer, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just so choppy. I just realized on your guys' end, the phone was choppy as well. Yeah, I think mine actually is too, Mr. Twister. It is an M1, I know. I don't know if it's a 2020 or a 2021. We got it in 21. But honestly, we could certainly use an upgrade. It's getting a little slow. It's not like it was ever an incredible, like, high-end computer, but it gets the job done, you know? It can stream, it can play games at decent frame rates. Which, a lot of the custom build PCs, are like, they will end up working very incredibly well for, like, a good year or so, and then they will slow down very quickly. Macs, I feel like, just are consistently solid. It takes a long time for them to die out. Again, we've had this one for 3.5 years now, and it has not really lost too much steam. Again, if you are new here, feel free to subscribe. If everybody watching right now subscribed, we could hit our goal for today. Fun fact. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I really want to hit 3150. Again, thank you guys for support, though, recently. It's been unbelievable. I did not even think we'd get to 2,000 by the end of the year, so 3K is just insane. Again, it really does mean a lot. Again, we try to do our best here. We do this every day for areas all across the country. Again, during the big week that we had last week with the moderate risk, we were live for over 20 hours total. My dad has his old 2014 Mac for 8 years. That is a long time for a computer to last, especially for 2014. I mean, Macs are just solid whenever it comes to how long they will last. And still be consistently just good, you know. And we had a, before we had this computer, we had a really crappy, actually, I think it was technically a TV. It was a little monitor. It was very horrible. Like, if we tried to do streaming on that, it would be unbelievably slow. Like, it would crash every time I opened OBS. And we had that all the way up until 2021, which is crazy to think about. And this computer is just so much faster. Battery now lasts like 30 minutes, though, and takes a few minutes to boot. Yeah, I mean, if it's a 2014 computer, though, the fact that it can still even do that after 10 years is pretty impressive. Alrighty. It's just a MacBook Air. You have a 2020 MacBook Air and your dad has a 2020 Pro. Nice. But yeah, I would bet you, honestly, if I ran a benchmark on my phone and on the computer, the phones would perform better. And that's not a testament saying, like, this computer sucks or anything, 'cause it definitely doesn't. It's very fast. That's just me flexing how incredible the iPhone 15 Pro Max is. I can't even imagine what the 16 Pro Max does. I've never had a single issue or a single moment so far with my phone where I'm like, dang it, why is this taking so long to load? Which, to be fair, I've only had it for 6 days, but still. If anything, I've just been blown away by everything that it can do. The fact that it can go from 0 to 100% battery in like an hour while I'm using it is incredible to me. And again, while I'm doing pretty high-end performing tests, like I'll be playing games while calling my friends while charging, and it will go from 0 to 100 in an hour, which is crazy. Well, this was engaging. Yeah, we kind of got very far off topic, but just a little fun discussion there. Never anything wrong with that. I will admit, though, yeah, it is pretty impressive how I've seen, like, those Windows computers that they have disguised as Macs. The customability on those things are insane. I don't know why I just started drawing a little computer here now. What am I doing? We have a little kink developing in our line here that could potentially be indicative of some very weak rotation developing. Wind picking up here? Yeah, I would imagine so. Not Lake of the Woods? Why? What's significant about that? What is significant about that? Is there something I don't get? Happy New Year, Pierre. Only got a few more hours till it's 2025. Crazy to think about. This year was just incredible for the channel. Especially towards the end. Again, thanks to you guys. Tomorrow we will be officially eligible for monetization, which is incredible. Can't thank you guys enough for that. Again, the fact that this is potentially going to be a career option for me in the future makes me very happy. And again, I can only thank you guys for that. So, and again, the fact that today is like a lower end performing stream and we're still hitting, a few hundred views, that makes me very happy. Again, I'm happy to get to the position where a few hundred views is below average. Oh, your family's there? I say, it's like there's something I'm not getting. But yeah. Yeah, as long as they move indoors, they'll be fine. Some quarter-sized tail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. Maybe some very weak rotation developing over Pates, but wouldn't worry about that. Really at all. Let's go ahead and run a poll here. I know Mr. Storm is live. Should we call Mr. Storm? I'm going to run that poll. See what you guys think. Your dog ate your homework, damn. Alright, everybody's voting yes already. We've only had one vote for no. So, yeah, I think we're going to do it. I think we shall call Mr. Riz. That way you guys don't have to keep alternating between streams. You can pick one or the other to stay in. Because I know a lot of you guys are alternating between our streams. Here we go. Yo!
Are you live still?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm live too if you didn't know already.
Yeah.
Alright. Do you think this line's gonna hit DC? I think it might go south there, but...
I think the northern part of the line will hit southern DC. The HRRR has been hinting at that for a while.
Yeah, Caleb WX says that the HRRR has the line slamming into the DC area, so...
Yeah, it does.
But if you are traveling along I-95, make sure you're staying extra weather aware because there will be a period of some heavy downpours, maybe some small hail, depending on where you are, but definitely also some gusty winds with that. We also are watching some very minor rotation within this line because there is a little bit of an inflow notch there. It is really starting to disappear, actually, but there was a little bit of rotation.
Yeah.
Previously. But yeah, that's not going to be a huge problem today. I don't know. We still have a 2% risk, but I don't know if we've had any tornado warnings today.
We have
yet.
not.
Yeah.
The HRRR does actually like the idea of some discrete little supercells out ahead of this little line here developing maybe in like southern New Jersey, so that could lead to an increased tornado threat. Say 7, 8, 9 p.m. Eastern would be the greatest time frame to watch there for an isolated tornado or damaging wind gusts across southern New Jersey.
Yes. And I do think that I will get a cluster of storms tonight that could produce heavy downpours, maybe even some lightning, so I will stay up for that.
Kevin, we've been live for an hour.
Already?
Yeah.
I
We just got a new severe thunderstorm warning here. This is for Fredericksburg, parts of the I-95 corridor, quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. If you're in this area, make sure you're moving indoors. The noteworthy thing here is they have actually canceled the tornado possible tag, though.
Yeah, that makes sense because that area of rotation on velocities has definitely kind of went away, so...
Yeah.
So yeah, a severe warning, including portions of I-95, also out there near Fredericksburg. So the population for these areas will eventually increase. So we will have to watch out for that. But definitely, make sure you're getting indoors and away from windows. But we also have that special marine warning going up for the Potomac River. So definitely, if you happen to be, on a boat or whatever, just make sure that you are getting off the water.
That includes literally the entirety of the river, too, pretty much.
Yeah, it does.
Cumberland storm had some rotation. Let's check it out. Cumberland, Virginia.
Hey, we hit 1.05K. That was the goal.
Nice.
Really appreciate that. But it's good to have another 100 subscribers at the end of 2024.
Yeah, that rotation's actually weakening, though, but thanks for pointing that out, Weather Tracker.
Yeah.
No, there's rotation south of Cumberland. If you go back and look at it, it was quite strong at one point.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
I saw that earlier. I forgot where that's at. Hold on. Cumberland. Nope, that's the wrong one. That's still there. Is it in our severe warning or is it in our special weather statement?
Special weather statement.
Okay.
It's at the southern end of the line. And there actually is a hook echo and everything.
I do see that now. Oh yeah, we did. I had actually pointed that out earlier. So yeah, it was more intense earlier. But yeah, there is definitely still some of that rotation going
It
on.
actually just
And
tightened
then
up quite a bit again over Tobaccoville.
yeah,
This is
I
a
did see
weird
that.
name.
There's another one called Dumpus, or was it called Bumpus? Bumpass. I don't even know how to say it.
Thank you, Mary.
And there also is area of 60 plus DVDs near Cartersville. So definitely watch out for some small hail. I'd say really up to pea-size hail as possible with that. I have seen videos of pea-size hail from this line earlier, so.
So this rotation, if it continues, it will go on the north side of Richmond near Ashland, Virginia. Again, it's not anything super intense, but it is quite not strong, but it's getting there. It will continue to push eastward here. We also do have some more broad rotation further to the north near Cartersville trying to develop, it looks like. So we'll kind of watch both these spots in the line for an embedded tornado threat.
Yeah. And this is why we have the 2% risk as well. You're going to be live more on YouTube too. That'd be great. NATO do that.
Yeah, I don't think they will issue a tornado warning for that, unless something really picks up there. It's quite broad as of right now.
Yeah, I'm still watching the Tobaccoville area rotation because I really think that is honestly. I mean, I haven't been looking at the weather too much today, but as far as what I've seen, I think that's probably our most concerning area of rotation of the day so far.
That is not a CC drop weather tracker. It does not line up. I knew somebody was going to say that, though.
Oh yeah, I'll play a CC job, but no, that's.
What's up, Amber? No, you're good.
Yeah, so if you're near Hideaway Lake or Valona, that's where the rotation is starting to move up towards. And then also near Goochland, we have very broad rotation. I don't know if you saw, but John McKinney gave you access to his severe weather chase streams.
Wait, what?
John, he shouted out and leave on his live today, and he said that we could all use his streams.
Oh, okay, sweet.
So there is actually, I believe, an embedded supercell near Lake of the Woods where our previous area of rotation is, and there actually is a hook echo developing, and that rotation is starting to kick back in, so I would actually watch that.
That's actually not an embedded supercell. That's just a kink in the line.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a L core.
Well, but look back at it. Look at the past scans. You can see it was originally very clearly part of the line.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, but that's moving over a very populated area, so make sure that you are getting indoors if you're in Southern Gateway, Stafford, Dunvant.
Jerry, single site radar is like what we're looking at right now. It's where you have all the little radars. If you turn it over to MRMS, that just gives you like a very low quality view, but it is countrywide there. So again, Whenever we're looking at specific cells, we always use single site radar.
Yep.
So again, our hook echo here just east of Cumberland now is continuing to curve in on itself here. It looks like the rotation is probably going to dissipate, but we will actually watch this for several more minutes. It is definitely still there, kind of about to cross Highway 60, so we'll watch out for a brief tornado to potentially be produced there. But again, I think at this point the line's mostly going to be a wind threat.
Yeah.
You're going to McWendy's? Alright.
That's fairly mild in this storm area. Let's check that out, actually. Dew points right now are in the upper 40s and low 50s, so pretty unfavorable, but we could turn on temperatures here.
Where is that?
I should just talk about the storm area in general, I think. Let's see. So yeah, we turn on temperatures here. You can see right now they are in a right now in the upper 50s, and obviously our approaching cold front will cool down things. But for now, yeah, the area that these storms will be moving into pretty much right around the same, although really past Baltimore and points north, that those temperatures will start to decrease. But you are still hanging on to the 50s if you're in Philadelphia and southern New Jersey. So I think that's also part of the reason why they they extended the marginal risk into that area. So for now, everything seems to be kind of in the mid to upper 50s, but really nothing too favorable as for severe weather.
So again, for anybody wondering, I think the peak time frame for a tornado threat would be, say, 7, 8, 9 p.m. Eastern. And I think that would be over parts of Delmarva as well as southern New Jersey. Just look at all these little discrete cells here that we have popping up at, say, around 8 p.m. Obviously, not every single one of these is going to produce a tornado because it's not a super favorable environment. But if any one of them does become strong enough, I think it's definitely possible that we do see a brief spin up.
Yes. Also, they did add the tornado possible tag back on the Fredericksburg severe warning.
That's been there.
That has. I thought they took that off.
No.
It's very mild for the last day of summer. Yeah, I mean, these, you could argue that these are slightly above average temperatures.
Still watching that rotation over Hideaway Lake there. Again, we're probably not going to see a CC drop if that does produce anything. 1, because it would likely be relatively weak. 2, it's in a pretty unpopulated area. And 3, we are talking a good, say, 65 miles away from the radar sites. That's a little too far to see a CC drop unless it was a strong tornado. If you're just not tuning in, make sure to subscribe. We do this every day for areas all across the country. Again,
everyone goes to Davis.
We did over 20 hours of coverage last week for the severe weather event down in the Deep South. Again, I think 2025 is probably going to be the most active year that we've seen in a long time for severe weather, so we'll watch out. Again, we're going to be trying to go live as much as possible next year. Again, thank you guys for all the support recently.
This is a new hat. No, I've had this hat. Yeah, everyone make sure that they're hitting the subscribe button. That you are always here whenever we do severe weather coverage, because you could definitely end up yourself being in one of these kind of situations.
Will climate change make us have more tornadoes? With the recent trends, yes. Especially across Dixie Alley. I think Dixie Alley will make a comeback in 2025. It's been kind of boring in 2024, but
Do you think south of Snell there could be a little bit of an inflow notch? Or you think that's kind of just because we're very far away from the radar site?
Where did you say?
South of Snell.
Snow, Virginia?
Nell.
So Nell?
Nell.
I I can't hardly hear what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Alright. SNEL.
Where do you see an inflow notch?
South of there.
No, that's not an inflow notch. That's just the shape of the storm, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, guys, the tornado reports could be multiple from the same tornado. So the other day we did not have 58 tornadoes. That's just how many reports we had. Sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
I said it could also be because partially from the fact that we are very far away from the state.
Yeah. Is it seriously, Mr. Twister? Is that true? When does generation beta start? 2025. Gosh. We did not surpass 2011. It's not confirmed. Again, I've explained that several times, but I'll go ahead and do it once more. That study, first of all, it included the months of January through November, and 2011 had a lot of tornadoes in December, while 2024 didn't. The second thing is, obviously, there's always a range of tornadoes that every year has, so we're not certain that it's exactly a certain number. It'll be anywhere from, this is just an example of a random year, but say there's 1,200 tornadoes in a year. We don't know it's exactly 1,200. They usually say a range from say 800 to 1,300, and the guess is just 1,200. Third reason being is we have several different sources reporting different amounts of tornadoes in 2011. Some people say it was over 2,000. Some people say it was 1,700. Overall, there are just way too many variables to say that we definitely had more tornadoes than we did in 2011, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I know that you've been watching this channel for a while, so I decided to make you mod. Who's on the phone? That's Davis. I don't know if you've tuned into his stream before, but that's Davis on the phone. He's also live, so if you haven't already, go subscribe to him and also hit that like button on his stream so we can get his stream out to as many people as possible.
Yeah, go subscribe to Mr. Storm as well if you've not already. Somebody wants to put his link in chat, that's fine.
Yeah, if you can put Davis's link in our chat as well, that'd be great. So Pierre Dubois.
We are 21 subscribers away from our goal for today. If everybody watching subscribed right now, we would hit that. Fun fact. We've been going back and forth the past few days. But if you do enjoy any sort of weather content, I do think this channel's for you. We do documentaries on old events. We do forecasts. We do severe weather coverage streams like we're doing today. This is a marginal risk day, and we've been live for well over an hour. So, again, we really do this. We try to do it as much as possible. So, again, if you're into that kind of stuff, make sure to like and subscribe. And even if we did, I said this earlier, but even if we did pass 2011 in number of tornadoes, intensity is still so much higher per average tornado in 2011. Like 2024, a lot of the tornadoes we had were brief spin ups. Obviously, 2011 had several EF5s, way more EF4s than 2024 had. So again, while I don't even think we crossed 2011 in terms of number of tornadoes, even if we have, average intensity per tornado is still so much higher in 2011 than it was for 2024.
Even if we're like very, very close to 2011, which we don't even know for sure, then I'd still say 2011 is by far a much bigger year because obviously our major outbreaks and just, I feel like overall it was just, a lot more insane.
We are now at 3,131 subscribers, only 19 away from our goal for the end of the year.
1 second, everybody. I'll be right back.
Alrighty. 31-32. We're now only 18 away. I believe this is the highest we've ever been. Dude, we're getting so close.
Well, I'm going to have to end off this stream, unfortunately. I know it's kind of early to do that, but I do have to go to Mass, so God first with that. But I will hopefully be back if I can later today. But if not, have a Happy New Year, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you for having me on, Davis, and I will see you in the video.
Alright, see you later. Bro just hung up like that. He just say bye or nothing. It's wild. It's crazy. Should we bring up, bruh? I swear, let me just do this on my phone. That's going to be a lot easier. Never mind, it's not going to load on there, so I guess we're going to do it this way. Should we bring up sub count full screen? Since there's not really a lot of severe weather to watch at this point. We might kind of start to wrap things up here. Call Levi. I think Levi's busy. Again, we'll likely come back later if we do have any tornado warnings for parts of Delmarva or southern New Jersey, which is definitely possible, but we'll see. Right now it's a 50-50 poll, so we might not bring it up full screen. But, I mean, either way, we're only going to be here for a few more minutes, so I'm just wondering what you guys want to see. But, yeah, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so we can hit our goal for the end of the year. Yeah, let me just call Ryan Hall real quick. Alright, seems like the general consensus is nah, so we'll kind of just chill here for a little while. What's the sub count? Right now we're at 31. Again, we do this every day for areas all across the country. I know I've said that like about 1,000 times today and over the past few days, but I hope you guys understand. It's just crazy the amount of support we've been seeing recently, so I want to make sure we're maximizing that. Again, I appreciate you guys so much for all this. Again, I never would have thought we'd be making it to this point at this part of the year. Again, I didn't even think we'd hit 2K by the end of the year. So, 3,000 is insane. Yeah, let me call Reed Zimmer real quick. Let me get him on the phone. Let's call up Pico's Hank real quick. Yeah, I'll call Mr. Best, as Sam said. Oh, that's what you were asking. What is sub count? Yeah. Subscriber count. Yeah, I'll call Span. Hey, 3132. We're getting close. Let me give a ring up to Elon Musk real quick. See if he can call for a second. Spare time out of his very busy day. You can actually call James Span. Bro, that's insane. I can call Max Velocity, I think. Yeah, I'll call Trump real quick. Ask him his policies for 2025. That is not a political statement. We're not going there. Yeah, we'll call up, who should we call up? Let's call up, Robert Downey Jr. real quick, ask him when the next Avengers movie's coming out. Call Jimmy Fallon. Call Mark Payton. Yep. Let's call Vince Welty real quick. Call up Caillou. Yikes. Let's call up Sketch real quick. Alrighty. In all seriousness, though, I think we are going to wrap up pretty shortly here. I think whenever they let this severe warning expire, we'll probably call it quits for this stream and again come back later if anything pops up in Delmarva or in southern New Jersey or anywhere else. Those are just the areas where I think would happen. We do have a report of numerous trees down near the intersection of Constitution Highway and Strawberry Hill Road from our line of storms. That is just near the Rhodesville area. I know we had some folks watching from Lake of the Woods, so hope you're doing all right. Why does this happen every time in chat? That's my only question, is why. Yeah, our sub goal for 2025 will be announced in our video at 6 p.m. tonight, so make sure to check that out. But if they would let go of this severe warning here, we could end off stream. Do 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 do. Where are you gonna get a singing of the Chill Guy song on any other severe weather coverage stream? Not sure if that's something you're looking for, but if it is, we got you covered. But yeah, in all seriousness, I think we're gonna end off the stream here within the next several minutes. they did just actually reissue that severe thunderstorm warning for areas in southwestern DC, areas like Woodlawn, areas like Dahlgren for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So if you're in that area, make sure you're moving indoors. But I think we're going to end off the live stream here, so if you guys did enjoy, please do be sure to like and subscribe. Again, we are getting so close to our goal of 3150. We've been going back and forth, up and down, but I think we can definitely hit it by the end of tonight if we really push it out there. So again, we will have another stream out later today, likely. Again, even if we don't, we will have our video premiering at 6 p.m. Or not premiering, but coming out at 6 p.m. So make sure to check that out if you want to know what our goals are for 2025 and what we'll kind of be doing on YouTube in 2025. I also think it's just a relatively funny video. I try to include some humor in it, so I hope you guys do enjoy that. If you haven't already, check out our video at noon that we posted, saying if we did our 2024 YouTube goals. But anyways, that's enough yapping. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace. I don't know why I do that now. I do it like this. We just lost 2 subs. Alright, I'm ending.